Today we're here at the Department of Transport at West Perth, and we're going to go through some of the streets where you might potentially be doing the exercise left something behind. So from here we can either go straight ahead or turn right, but this time we're going to be turning right. So we'll just try to explore a little bit different, set of streets than we did last time. So we've got to obey these stop signs here. They are in the private property, but still we've got to obey them because we've got to give way to the traffic that's coming in and obviously exiting the car park. Okay, so we're going down towards Roy Street and Railway Parade, and it's very random where the assessor may take you. So this time we're going to be turning right, so we've got to make sure that we give way to anyone, including pedestrians. Okay, so if there are pedestrians, give way to them as they're crossing. Okay, there's another lady, but she's now behind me, so this is acceptable. So this time we're going straight ahead. We've got emerging traffic straight up here. We've got a mirror blind spot. There's a car right behind me. Okay, and we've got a roundabout coming up. So make sure you give way to everyone. Make sure if you're driving a manual to go to second gear. Otherwise your transfer of the power from the engine to the wheels will not be adequate, and your car might be too sluggish if you need a bit of a power to get you out of trouble. So any of the streets on the right hand side, they might choose to do the exercise left someone behind. So we're going to turn right here at the roundabout. Indicate left out. On this particular street, if there are empty bays on the left, they might ask you to do the reverse parallel parking as well. If you're not sure what you're asked to do, you've got to make sure to ask them to repeat. Okay, so this is one of the busiest parts of places where you might be going for a driving assessment in West Perth, and any time of the day pretty much you'd find that there's a bit of a jam here. There's a cop's car behind me, so I'm going to pull over to the left. See, all the traffic is moving. There's an ambulance behind us, so we're trying to allow it to pass, and that's the best way to do it is to merge left. So now when it's gone, we can indicate right. Clearly I've got to check the blind spot. So I'm going to turn right at the next street. Here, there's added lanes, so never cross the solid white line on the left hand side when you're doing this, and then we can turn. Okay, so this is one of the streets where you might be doing the exercise left someone behind, but also you might be asked to do the reverse parallel park. Okay, so if the assessor asks you, I'd like you to pull over wherever you feel is safe, just try to find a spot where it's the most convenient, that you're not going to be disrupting the flow of traffic, so just pick the most reasonable spot. So once you've stopped, you can indicate off and the handbrake on as well. So the next instruction will be that you need to remember this particular spot where you stopped. You drive off, and at some point they're going to ask you to come back to the same spot using the driveways or roundabouts or side streets, whatever is most convenient, and again whatever's best in order not to disrupt any traffic, any flow of traffic that might be behind you or coming from the opposite direction. So once you've been given the instruction, okay, now I'd like you to remember this spot here. We're going to drive off, and at some point I'm going to ask you to come back here. So what you do is, again, we prepare to go. We mirror, no one seems to be passing me. I indicate right, looking over my shoulder, and then off I go. They might ask you to come back pretty much immediately, so If that's the case, you could use this roundabout here, but this time we're just going to go through. So, you know, there's no sort of limited, you know, or there's no minimum or maximum amount of time when they, you know, will ask you to come back. So basically, you know, they can do it at any point in time. So if they do it here, if they say, okay, I'd like you to go back to the house, you'll have something behind. So I'm going to indicate right, and I'm going to use this little street to make a U-turn here. That is the most, you know, common way. So we indicate left, no one's there, so we can proceed. Okay, so you've got to indicate right around parked vehicles as well. So mirror and blind spot. So we're coming back towards that roundabout again. So we have to give way to the people on the right hand side. Indicating left out. So I'm going to have to find a proper spot to turn around and come back to the same place. So this time I'm going to be using the driveway, one of these ones here. Okay, so I've got a pretty wide driveway just up here, and I'm not too close to the intersection. Okay. Make sure you go as deep as possible without crossing the property line, so you can reverse properly on the left hand side of the road. So fully locking steering wheel. Okay, making sure that I see everything, any change. Okay, so now I mirror, indicate blind spot, and off we go. So I know that was behind a black Mercedes. I'm going to indicate left, and I'm going to pull up in the same spot as I was earlier. So try not to panic, just try to make a rational decision, and if you're not sure about the instruction, and if there's no suitable place to make a U-turn or to go into the driveway, just continue driving until you can find the most suitable spot where you can turn around. So this is just one of the streets that you might potentially go to do your exercise, left some behind, and you know, there could be any other street around here. So just use your common sense, you know, understand that you've got to proceed within the reasonable amount of time. You can't sit there forever. Just go with the flow, and that way you will definitely optimize your performance and you know, and score the maximum amount of points. Try not to rush things, try not to take too much of your time either, and clearly that way they will, you know, assess you as somebody who might walk away with a driver's license on that day. So we thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.